There is a certain kind of person we meet in the world who leaves an indelible mark. This person is not defined by the number of followers they have or the trends they set. Instead, their influence comes from something far deeper, something that cannot be manufactured or copied. They possess an originality that feels like a breath of fresh air. They do not chase what is popular, they simply are who they are. Their style is not a costume they put on for the world. It is a genuine expression of their inner landscape, a reflection of their soul. This is the true influencer, the one who leads not by demanding we follow, but by inspiring us to find our own way. This individual walks a path that is uniquely their own. They might wear colors that clash, read books no one has heard of, or speak about ideas that seem strange at first. But there is a consistency in their uniqueness, a deep current of self-knowledge that runs through everything they do. They are not different for the sake of being different. They are different because they have done the hard work of listening to themselves. They have learned to trust their own voice above the noise of the crowd. This commitment to their own truth is what makes them so compelling. We are drawn to them because they show us what is possible when we stop trying to fit in. Their power lies in this refusal to conform. In a world that often pushes us towards sameness, the influencer stands as a quiet testament to the beauty of the individual. They remind us that our quirks, our passions, and our strange little habits are not flaws to be hidden. They are the very things that make us who we are. They don't follow the rule book because they are busy writing their own. Their life is an open invitation for us to do the same. They are not selling a product or a lifestyle. They are embodying a way of being that is rooted in courage and authenticity. When we encounter such a person, we feel a shift within ourselves. It is a feeling of permission. Permission to be a little real. Permission to love what we love. Permission to speak our minds, even if our voice is shaken. The influencer's greatest gift is not the style or their behaviors, but the space they create for others to be more themselves. They don't just show us who they are. They like to draw us to discover who they are. Their originality is something that is self-pride and let our own unique light shine. When someone lives with radical authenticity, their impact extends far beyond their immediate circle. It creates a ripple effect, a quiet and powerful force for change. This kind of influence is not about telling people what to do or how to think. It is about modeling a different way of being in the world. When we see someone bravely being themselves, it challenges our own assumptions about what is acceptable. It makes us question the unwritten rules we have been following without even realizing it. Their courage gives us courage. Their vulnerability invites our own. This is how true, lasting change begins. Not with a grand announcement, but with a single person choosing to live in alignment with their values. This authentic style becomes a source of deep inspiration. It is not about copying their look or their hobbies. It is about understanding the spirit behind their choices. We are inspired to find our own version of that freedom. If they can wear that bold color, maybe we can wear the one we have been hiding in the back of our closet. If they can share their poetry, maybe we can share the story we have been too afraid to write. The influencer shows us that our true self is not something to be ashamed of. It is our greatest strength. This inspiration is a powerful catalyst, sparking creativity and self-discovery in everyone they touch. The change they create is profound because it is internal. It is not about changing our circumstances, but about changing our relationship with ourselves. Authenticity is contagious. When we are around people who are real, it becomes harder to be fake. We start to feel the discomfort of our own masks and the longing to put them down. The influencer, simply by being, creates a space where authenticity is the norm, not the exception. In their presence, we feel safe enough to experiment with our own truth. We start to see that the world does not fall apart when we are real. In fact, it becomes a much richer and more interesting place. This ripple effect has the power to transform communities. One person's authenticity can inspire a friend, who then inspires a coworker, who then inspires their family. Slowly but surely, the culture begins to shift. It moves from a place of judgment and conformity to one of acceptance and celebration. The influencer may never know the full extent of their impact. They may never see all the lives they have touched, all the courage they have sparked. But that is the nature of this quiet influence. It is a legacy, a wave of change that continues to spread long after the initial splash. The influencer's creativity is not confined to a single medium, it spills out into every corner of her life. Her entire existence becomes a canvas for self-expression. Words are one of her most powerful tools. She uses them with intention and care, not to impress but to connect. She might write poetry that captures a fleeting emotion, or journal pages filled with her deepest fears and boldest dreams. Her words are honest. They are raw. They do not shy away from the messy parts of being human. She shares her thoughts not as an expert with all the answers, but as a fellow traveler on the journey, offering her perspective as a gift. Her love for color is another language she speaks fluently. She sees the world in vibrant hues and is unafraid to wear them. Her home might be filled with bright cushions and eclectic art, each piece telling a story of who she is. Her wardrobe is a joyful explosion of shades that others might deem too loud or unconventional. For her, color is not just about aesthetics. It is about energy. It is about emotion. Wearing a bright yellow scarf on a gloomy day is an act of defiance against the grayness, a small but significant way of creating her own sunshine. Her use of color is a bold declaration. I am here, and I will not be muted. Beyond words and colors, she finds expression in a multitude of unusual materials and ideas. She might collect strangely shaped rocks from the beach, seeing stories in their weathered surfaces. She might combine different textures in her clothing, rough linen with soft silk, creating a tactile experience that is uniquely hers. Her mind is a playground of curiosity, always exploring unconventional concepts and connecting disparate thoughts. She might be fascinated by ancient myths, quantum physics, and the art of baking bread, seeing the threads that weave them all together. This eclectic mix of interests is not random. It is the rich tapestry of her soul. This creative expression is an act of courage. It takes guts to put your true self on display, to share the things you love when the world might not understand or approve. Every poem shared, every colorful outfit worn, every unusual idea voiced is a small act of bravery. It is a way of saying, this is me, this is what I care about, this is what I find beautiful. Her creativity is not for validation or applause. It is a fundamental need, a way of processing the world and replacing it. Her life is her art, and her art is a testament to the beauty of a soul fully expressed. One of the most defining characteristics of the true influencer is her profound generosity of spirit. Her goal is not to stand alone in the spotlight. It is to build a bigger stage and invite others to share it with her. She understands that true strength is not about individual success, but about collective thriving. When she discovers another artist, writer, or creator whose work resonates with her, her first instinct is to share it. She promotes their work with genuine enthusiasm, wanting nothing in return. She believes that there is enough light for everyone to shine, and she sees it as her responsibility to help amplify the voices of others. This act of lifting others is central to her purpose. She actively creates communities where people feel seen, heard, and valued. She might start a book club to discuss meaningful ideas, organize a local art show for emerging talent, or simply connect two people who she knows will inspire each other. She is a weaver of people, bringing them together around a shared passion or a common goal. In these spaces she cultivates, collaboration is valued over competition, vulnerability is encouraged, and everyone is given the chance to contribute their unique gifts. She fosters an environment where people feel safe enough to be their authentic selves. Her support is not just about promotion, it is about mentorship and encouragement. She takes the time to listen to someone's dreams and fears. She offers a kind word when they are struggling with self-doubt. She celebrates their small victories as if they were her own. She remembers what it felt like to be starting out, to feel invisible and unsure. Because of this, she is committed to making the path a little easier for those who come after her. She shares her knowledge, her resources, and her platform freely, believing that a rising tide lifts all boats. Her generosity creates a powerful cycle of reciprocity and support. This collaborative spirit is a radical act in a world that often pits us against one another. The influencer demonstrates that our greatest impact comes not from climbing the ladder alone, but from building a strong, interconnected web of support. She shows us that celebrating another person's success does not diminish our own. In fact, it enriches us all. By championing others, she not only helps them shine, but also strengthens the entire community. Her legacy is not just what she creates, but the creative Choosing the path of authenticity is not always easy. It often means stepping into an arena where you feel exposed and alone. The influencer knows this struggle intimately. There are moments when her unique perspective is met with confusion or, just silence. Society is comfortable with the familiar, and anything that deviates from the norm can be perceived as a threat. When you express an idea that is ahead of its time or wear something that defies convention, you risk being misunderstood or dismissed. This can well lead to a profound sense of loneliness, a feeling that you are speaking a language that no one else understands. This feeling of being unnoticed is one of the heaviest burdens of being different. You pour your heart and soul into your work, into your way of being, and it can feel like you are shouting into a void. The world continues on, celebrating the polished and the popular, while your raw, authentic expression goes unseen. This is the risk of daring to be yourself. The world may not be ready for you. It takes immense courage to continue showing up, to keep creating and sharing your truth, even when it feels like no one is listening. The temptation to soften your edges, to become more palatable, is immense. The price of being truly seen can also be high. Authenticity requires vulnerability, and vulnerability means opening yourself up to criticism and judgment. When you put your real self out there, you are giving people the opportunity to reject the very core of who you are. This is far more painful than having a superficial idea or a temporary trend criticized. It is a deep, personal risk. The influencer must develop a strong sense of self-worth that is not dependent on external validation. She has to learn to be her own anchor in a sea of changing opinions, trusting that her worth is inherent. Despite these challenges, the influencer persists. She understands that the loneliness and the risk are part of the journey. She knows that the alternative, hiding her true self to gain approval, is a far better place. That would be betrayal for her soul, a slow and silent fading into the present. And so she continues to stand in her truth even when it's hard. She learns to find comfort in being comfortable and to draw strength from the knowledge that she is living a life that is honest and whole. Her courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. So much of our world encourages us to live in the grey area of mediocrity. We are taught from a young age to fit in, to color inside the lines, and to not make too much noise. This pressure to conform creates a culture where blending in feels safer than standing out. We learn to file down our sharp edges, mute our vibrant colors, and quiet our unique voices. We choose the comfortable path of being agreeable and predictable, fearing that being too much of ourselves might lead to rejection or ridicule. This quiet surrender to sameness is the enemy of authentic self-expression. It is a life lived in muted tones, devoid of the passion and vibrancy that make us feel truly alive. In stark contrast, the influencer chooses a life of full color. She understands that trying to be like everyone else is the fastest way to lose yourself. She rejects the notion that her worth comes from how well she fits into a pre-existing mold. Instead, she embraces the things that make her different. She sees her quirks not as liabilities, but as assets. Her courage lies in her willingness to be seen as she truly is, without apology or explanation. This is a conscious and often difficult choice. It is the choice to trade the comfort of the crowd for the freedom of being an individual. It is the decision to live a life that is truly her own. Authentic self-expression is an act of rebellion against this culture of mediocrity. It is a declaration that you will not be defined by other people's expectations. It is about having the courage to listen to the whispers of your own heart over the roar of the crowd. This does not mean being disagreeable or contrary for its own sake. It means being so deeply connected to your own values and passions that you cannot help but live them out loud. It is the difference between a life that is manufactured to please others and a life that is organically grown from the soil of your own soul. This choice to stand apart is not about arrogance or a sense of superiority. It is about integrity. It is about honoring the unique spark that exists within each of us. When we dare to express our true selves, we give others permission to do the same. We show them that there is another way to live, a way that is more joyful, more meaningful, and more alive. Escaping the gray is not just about personal freedom. It is a gift to the world. It adds a new color to the collective palette. making the entire picture richer and more beautiful for everyone. Many of us hear the call to be more authentic, but we don't know where to start. We think it requires a grand gesture or a complete life overhaul. The truth is, finding and expressing your own style begins with small, simple acts. It starts with paying attention to what you truly love, not what you think you should love. Take a moment to notice what catches your eye. Is it a particular color, a certain type of music, a style of writing? Don't judge it or question it. Simply acknowledge it. Your attractions are clues to your authentic self. Start by incorporating one of these things into your day. Wear that color, play that song, read that book. One practical step is to create a small space in your life that is unapologetically yours. It could be a corner of your room, a shelf on your bookcase, or even a single drawer. Fill this space with things that bring you joy and make you feel like yourself. It could be postcards, interesting stones, a favorite mug, or books by authors who inspire you. This small sanctuary is a physical representation of your inner world. Tending to it is a way of honoring your own tastes and preferences. It is a quiet practice of reminding yourself that what you love matters, even if no one else sees it. Another simple act of self-expression is to experiment with your own voice. This can be done in private, without any pressure of an audience. Start a journal and write whatever comes to mind. Don't worry about grammar or making sense. Just let the words flow. This is a way of getting to know the thoughts and feelings that live inside you. You could also try expressing yourself without words. Doodle in a notebook. Take pictures of things you find beautiful on your phone. Hum a made-up tune. The goal is not to create a masterpiece, but to get comfortable with the act of creating something that is purely for you. Finally, begin to share a small piece of your true self with a trusted friend. It could be a song you love, a poem you wrote, or a dream you had. Sharing your inner world with someone who is safe is a powerful step toward owning your story. Their acceptance can give you the courage to be a little more open in other areas of your life. Remember, this is not a race. It is a slow and gentle process of unfolding. Each small act of self-expression builds on the last, strengthening your connection to your true self and giving you the confidence to let your unique light shine a little brighter. The world does not need more copies. It needs more originals. The ultimate lesson we can learn from the authentic influencer is that we are all called to be our own influencers. This is not a title to be earned or a status to be achieved. It is an invitation to live a life that is a true and honest reflection of who you are. It is about becoming the leading authority on your own experience, your own joy, and your own truth. You have a unique perspective that no one else has. You have a combination of passions, talents, and experiences that is yours alone. To hide that away is to rob the world of a gift that only you can offer. Embracing this role means celebrating what makes you special, even the parts you have been taught to hide. It means honoring your quiet nature in a world that rewards loudness. It means cherishing your love for details in a world that values speed. It means embracing your sensitivity in a world that equates it with weakness. Your so-called flaws, when viewed through the lens of authenticity, are often your greatest strengths. They are the distinguishing features that set you apart. To be your own influencer is to stop apologizing for who you are and start celebrating it. It is about becoming the main character in your own story. This journey begins with a commitment to yourself. It is a promise to listen to your own intuition, to honor your own needs, and to treat yourself with kindness and compassion. It means giving yourself permission to change your mind, to make mistakes, and to be a work in progress. Being your own influencer is not about having all the answers. It is about being brave enough to ask the questions. It is about being curious about who you are and who you are becoming. It is a lifelong practice of showing up for yourself, especially on the days when it feels hard. Let this be your encouragement to step into your own power. You do not need to wait for anyone's approval or permission. Your authenticity is your authority. Start today by making one small choice that feels true to you. Wear the shoes that make you happy. Speak authentically. Spend an hour doing something you love just because. Each of these acts reinforces the message that you matter. You are the one you have created. Answer the call to be your own influencer. Just your way and the world around you. When we dare to be our authentic selves, we do more than just liberate our own souls. We contribute to the healing and wholeness of the world. Every person who chooses courage over comfort and authenticity over approval makes it a little bit safer for the next person to do the same. This creates a powerful and positive chain reaction. Our individual bravery becomes a collective force, slowly dismantling the culture of fear and conformity that keeps so many people small. A world where more people feel free to be themselves is a world that is more vibrant, more creative, and more compassionate. Being yourself is an act of service. When you share your unique gifts, you inspire others to uncover and share theirs. When you speak your truth, you give others the language to speak theirs. When you live with an open heart, you show others that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a doorway to connection. You may never know the full impact of your authenticity. You may not see the person who was inspired by your courage to start their own business, leave a toxic relationship, or finally write their book, but your impact is real. Your honest way of being ripples out in ways you cannot possibly imagine. Imagine a world where everyone felt empowered to show up as they truly are. Imagine the art that would be created, the ideas that would be shared, and the problems that would be solved. When we are not wasting energy trying to be someone we are not, we have so much more energy to contribute to the world. Our authenticity unlocks our potential. It frees us to do the work we were meant to do. A world full of authentic individuals is a world full of purpose, passion, and connection. It is a world where our differences are not just tolerated but celebrated as essential pieces of a beautiful and complex tapestry. This is the ultimate purpose of God. It is not just about personal fulfillment, it is about by choosing to honor what is true and real, you show them what is possible. Help me yourself, not just for you, but for all of us. The world is waiting for the gift that only you can bring.